Hi everyone, welcome to our very first episode of Chills and Thrills Teen Reads. So for the month of October, I'm going to share with you some of our very popular thrillers and spooky stories that are available right now in the teen room for checkout for curbside pickup or locker pickup. The first one that I read recently that I would love to share with you has been really popular since it came out. This book came out in, let's see. If I read part of it to you, can you guess when it came out? I don't know if there should be a trigger warning for this. I, honestly, a little triggered reading this. You'll see why. Alright, so this is actually the beginning of the second chapter. And I want you to tell me what year you think this came out. We call it the Tox, and for the first few months they tried to make it a lesson. Viral outbreaks in the Western civilizations, a history, tox as a root in Latin languages, pharmaceutical regulations in the state of Maine, school, like always, teachers standing at the board with blood on their clothes, scheduling quizzes as if we'd all still be there a week later. The world's not ending, they said, and neither should your education. Breakfast in the dining room, math, English, French, lunch, target practice, physicals and first aid, Miss Welch bandaging wounds, and headmistress pricking with needles. Together for dinner, and then locked inside to last the night. No, I don't know what's making you sick, Welch would tell us. Yes, you'll be fine. Yes, you'll go home again soon. That ended quickly. Classes falling off the schedule as the talks took teacher after teacher, rules crumbling to dust and fading away until only the barest bones were left. But still we count the days, wake every morning to scan the sky for cameras and lights. People care on the mainland, that's what Welch always says. They've cared from the second headmistress called Camp Nash on the coast for help. And they're looking for a cure. In the first shipment of supplies boat shift ever brought back, there was a note, typed and signed, printed on the Navy's letterhead. From Secretary of the Navy, Department of Defense, Commanding Officer, Chemical Biological Incident Response Force, Camp Nash Director, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, to Raxter School for Girls on Raxter Island. Subject, quarantine procedures as recommended by the CDC. Implementation of a full isolation and quarantine effective immediately. Subjects to remain on school grounds at all times, for safety and to preserve conditions of initial contagion. Breach of school fence, save by authorized crew for supply retrieval, see below, violates terms of quarantine. Termination of phone and internet access pending. Communication to route only through official radio channels. Full classification of information in effect. Supplies to arrive via drop-off at Western Pier. Date and time to be set via Camp Nash Lighthouse. Diagnostics and treatment in development. CDC cooperating with local facilities regards cure. Expect delivery. Wait and stay alive, and we thought it would be easy, together behind the fence, safe from the wildwood, safe from the animals grown hungry and strange, but girls kept dropping. So this is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. This book is immensely popular and is almost always checked out. Do you think that was written recently? Not as recently as you might think. This book is from 2019, and like July 2019, no idea. So it was a little weird for me to read this because I went, I'm in quarantine. I'm stuck at home. I can't cross the metaphorical fence at the end of my driveway. But this is a really compelling and interesting read. I thought this was I couldn't put it down. I don't even know what to say. I couldn't put it down. It is definitely a thriller. There are definitely images in here that are scary. When you start to read more about what the tox does to their bodies, to the animals, there are some scary moments towards the end of the book where the images are just really scary and creepy of people who have had the tox take over them with no treatment or no care whatsoever. Really scary, and I kind of had to keep the lights on for a while when I was done. The story follows an all-girls school on Raxter Island in Maine, and in their time there, they start to notice that things like the irises, which they call rackster irises, and the crabs, which they call rackster crabs, exhibit strange symptoms. The irises turn black right before they die, as if there's something evil in them. The crabs have both lungs and gills, as if something strange is possessing them, and they also turn black when they die. And the animals are starting to become strange, and so are the girls. And so the story takes you through, it's told from two perspectives. It's told from the perspective of Hetty, who loses an eye during all of this, and you don't know why certain people lose eyes. One of her friends has a hand that's turned scaly and silver. One of her friends has another spine running down her back. There are a couple of chapters in here that are told through the perspective of her friend Byatt. And I don't want to give too much away about why those chapters are in there, but they're super important. But anyway, why are they the Wilder girls? What is it about them that is wild? And can that be controlled? And what is it? So this is really great. This is not a traditional scary story, but it's definitely a thriller, and it definitely has some scary images in it. I think that most readers will enjoy this one, especially if you like to try to figure things out. If you are not upset about your own quarantine, you might want to read about this one, or for a quarantine that's much worse than yours, you could read about this one. And I just thought that was so interesting how that happened. But this is definitely on my Halloween reads list for all of you. We have it here available at the library. It is a great read. It is engaging. It is fast-paced. I tore through the second half of the book in one night, and I could not put it down because I needed to know what was going to happen. And you always wonder, are they on the right track? What is being hidden from them? What don't they know? And what do the people offshore know? Do they know anything? I don't know. We'll have to find out. All right, so that is Wilder Girls by Rory Power, and it is our first Thrills and Chills read of the year. I'll see you next week for more of these spooky thriller books. There are plenty of them in our teen room, so if this is what you're looking for, let me know, and I can help you find a lot. All right, everyone, happy reading.